We often say that when United States of America caught fever, we were just sneezing. That kind of effect was there in India. And thanks to our economic systems and processes and various steps taken since 1991, that we did not face the hate as much as we should have faced. The word sustainability has various meanings for me. Having been associated with the university system, I'm not only dealing with management, though I'm a student of management throughout my life, but when I look at from engineering point of view, from architecture point of view, from design point of view, sustainability is an overarching issue in higher education today. Let me throw some light that in what context we should be seeing the issue of sustainability as we go along. And then towards the end, as I mentioned, I'll request to take on certain initiatives that we can address this important issue. Mahatma Gandhi once said that if you need to realize the benefits of economic growth, take growth to rural areas, to India's villages. In recent times, one of the greatest thinkers of our time, Professor Jerome Rifkin's of University of Pennsylvania, has articulated the concept of third industrial revolution. And he has drawn a very beautiful simile between the first, second and third industrial revolutions, and he has linked the sources of energy with means of communication. First industrial revolution he described when we had steam energy and post and telegraph as the means of communication. The second industrial revolution he describes as fossil fuels as the source of energy, which we are now questioning the limits and the abundance of the fossil fuels and how long it will last. And the means of communication was the digital telephones or telephone in general. The third industrial revolution, which is now beginning to commence, in fact we already see signs of this happening in the European Union countries and in the West. It says it is the green energy or renewable sources of energy and internet as the means of communication. And what he visualizes the third industrial revolution world to be, he says, the day is not far when each and every household will be generators of energy, whether it is wind energy, whether it is solar energy, all renewable sources. And through hydrogen technology, every household will also store this green energy. The surplus will go to the deficit areas through network of internet, and the wastage or the pilferage, which has been one of the concerns, will also be addressed. But the most important thing he says is that the mainstay of this infrastructure will be the rural areas of developing countries, where virgin infrastructure is yet to be built. You don't have to modify the existing infrastructure, you have to build all new infrastructure, and as I said, this where the rural areas of countries like ours will benefit. And in his concept paper of Vision 2050 of European Union, to which he is an advisor, he mentions Gandhi in his concept paper, and he says, Gandhi did a great thing by articulating the vision of economically developed India, when he said, take economic growth to the villages. But the biggest mistake of his life he committed was that he adopted primitive ways of khadi. He said, had it gone for the mechanical looms at that time, people wouldn't have got stuck with poverty. And in that sense, the third industrial revolution will be different in the sense, very high-end technology will be used, no matter whether this activity happens in rural areas or the urban areas. And the second overarching concept I would like to mention is the concept of frugal innovation, which is again with sustainability in mind. The entire Europe is looking at BRICS countries, and to begin with India, China and Brazil, where they want to understand the economic, demographic, social, economic context in which they can sell the Made in Italy brand. They want to transfer the technique. We have trained manpower here, and they can manufacture goods and services which are a fraction of the cost of what it takes in the Western countries. Frugal innovation has been the mainstay of India, and there are a large number of examples which one can cite. Recently there was a report, 2012 there was a research report sanctioned by UK government, and an organization called Nesta completed this report, which talks about frugal innovation and the way India has shown to the rest of the world in these innovations. And it talks about, for example, Jaipur food is one of the finest innovation at a fraction of cost compared to what it takes in the developed countries. They are now trying to make an artificial knee. Naturopathy type of therapies are at a fraction of cost compared to the rest of the world. The bypass surgery performed in India, thanks to some of the process innovations, happens at a fraction of the cost. India is one country which has made the only ATM machine which runs on solar power and exporting to the rest of the world. India is the country where we have a water filter costing 1,000 rupees, which is nowhere in the world. Now, the context in which I am talking about these frugal innovations is, India being a large country, we need this. Even the so-called poorest